Hey there, folks. Welcome to Spectrum Pulse. We talk about music, movies, art, and culture, and it's Billboard Breakdown. So this is a point we typically hit around this time of the year in December. Charts start to slow down for the holiday season. We get a few extraneous songs coming off of The Voice, just one thus far, but we're probably going to see more. And a sense that barring a major disruption, we're going to have a little bit of stability over this month. Now granted, said stability could be disrupted by that new Miguel album or that Eminem record that's dropping in just over a week. I saw the track listing, yikes. But that will remain to be seen. But for now, our top 10, and yet for another week, Rockstar by Post Malone featuring 21 Savage holds the number 1, but this time I've got some serious reservations about its longevity. I know I've said this before, but its sales boost is based on a discount, radio seems kind of inconsistent overall, and even its streaming seems to be softening a little bit. It'll probably hold up over Havana by Camila Cabello and Young Thug at number 2 with its own sales discount, because even despite racing to the top on the radio, it hasn't been able to close that streaming margin just yet. And yet what has is Perfect by Ed Sheeran. Now with a remix from Beyonce in order to punch up the sales, get closer on streaming, has already overtaken Rockstar on the radio. Again, it's a margins game up to number 3, but I think it's got the best shot as of right now. Hell, put it above Gucci Gang by Lil Pump down to number 4, which again is really only here thanks to the streaming, and with competitors that are rising up in its genre on YouTube, it could be facing real trouble there. Then we got Thunder by Imagine Dragons at number 5, which might still be selling pretty well, but it peaked on the radio and will likely be tumbling out of the top 10 pretty quickly, or at least I hope so. Then we got the slight boost for Too Good at Goodbyes by Sam Smith to number 6, on some modest boost across the board, but it likely took this spot as Bodak Yellow by Cardi B slipped hard, falling down to number 7 as on-demand streaming and sales took serious hits. Now fortunately for Cardi B, she's already got her replacement with No Limit with G-Eazy and A$AP Rocky breaking into the top 10 at the first time at number 8. And while sales are not great and the radio is wavering, it does have some streaming traction. I can see this holding up pretty strong if the radio holds up. It leaped over What Lovers Do by Maroon 5 featuring SZA, but even that rose up to number 9 thanks to a really good week on the radio, trumping some rough sales. But it likely got the spot thanks to the collapse of Feel It Still by Portugal the Man down to number 10, as sales on radio continues to dry up pretty fast, and that's all it had. Now I'm not all that excited about it. It had a good run. I'm still amazed it did it as well as it did, but yeah, it's going away pretty soon. And on that pleasant topic are losers and dropouts, and we really don't have that many of the latter. It's not like Relationship by Future and Young Thug, or Questions by Chris Brown, or even Every Little Thing by Carly Pearce. Not like they were huge hits anyway. The losses though are a fair bit more interesting, and I really have a hard time complaining about any of them. Yeah, I'm not exactly thrilled that Slow Hands by Niall Horan is at number 50 and is probably gone next week, but it had a good enough run. And Walk on Water by Eminem and Beyonce wasn't even much of a hit either, falling down to number 79, and it's probably gonna rebound. And even though I didn't really mind Echame La Copa by Luis Fonsi and Demi Lovato, I'm not surprised it fell off the debut to 76. The rest here though, when the best of them is Ghostface Killers by 21 Savage, Offset, and Metro Boomin taking a dip to 75, this isn't really bad news. Congratulations by Post Malone featuring Quavo finally drops to 45. Love So Soft by Kelly Clarkson continues to lose traction to 70. Fix the Drink by Chris Jansen drains down even more to 90. Look What You Made Me Do by Taylor Swift continues its free fall to 60. And most pleasing of all, Gummo by 6ix9ine is at 54. Now, thanks to its YouTube, it's probably going to end up rebounding, and that's not good, but that will be likely all it has, and you know what? I'm kind of okay with that. And now for our gains and returning entries, and you know, it's always weird when we actually have more of the latter than we do the former, because these lists are pretty small indeed. The only 2 significant entries for the gains are Love by Kendrick Lamar featuring Zacari up to 27, which is a great song, no complaints, and Let You Down by NF, which is significantly less great, but still tolerable enough in its game. But the returning entries deserve some scrutiny, the biggest of which being the annual comeback for Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You at number 21. But that's to be expected, as is the pop country rebound for All On Me by Devin Dawson in 93. Nope, what really turned my stomach was thanks to a remix with Gucci Mane. Returning to the charts, we have It's Everyday Bro by Jake Paul featuring Team 10. And with that Christmas EP he drops that features rappers who actually have had real success this year, we can't rule out that Litmus could happen on the Hot 100. Pray for my soul. This could get pretty ugly indeed. But you know what? We're not there yet. Let's not count those chickens. So let's get through our list of new arrivals. Starting off with number 100, Perro Fiel by Shakira featuring Nicky Jam.
Si eso pasa yo seguiré contigo aquí como un perro fiel. Yo tengo miedo de que me guste y que vaya a enloquecer.
At this point, I have no idea why Shakira is continuing to release singles from El Dorado. Ever since I reviewed it months late, it was abundantly clear that her heart wasn't in that record. And even if Latin music has increased market share right now in the Hot 100, Shakira Not Trying is something I don't want to hear. And coupled with the fizzy but too heavy by-the-numbers reggaeton beat matched with only faint hints of a melody behind it, it's a duet with shockingly little chemistry with Nicky Jam, promising to treat Shakira like a faithful dog. Even as he protests he doesn't know what to do with her and promises that she won't suffer. Am I the only one bewildered how anybody finds this attractive at all? Hell, the entire song feels like a confused mess, and with any luck, this will hopefully flop like me and Amore did. So in other words, next. Number 99, Total Eclipse of the Heart by Kohanski.
Nothing I can say, a total eclipse of the heart.
I've got a complicated relationship with Total Eclipse of the Heart. I mean, I love the Bonnie Tyler original written and produced by Jim Steinman, but I've also heard countless god-awful versions of this song at karaoke, and without adequate production bombast, that is what I was afraid this would become. Now, thankfully, even despite shifted down a key, Kohanski does have the right vocal register and most of the firepower to convincingly sell the song. But can I say, as much as this is doing a lot right, I wish this was a lot more raw? I mean, the song is high melodrama. If you're gonna play it as reserved and kind of tasteful as this is, you're kind of missing the point. I don't know, the original composition is so damn strong it's hard for me to actively dislike this, but I do wish I liked it a lot more. As it is, I'm fine with it, I guess. Number 98, Legends by Kelsea, Ballerini. So, Kelsea Ballerini put out a new album, and to be honest, I probably won't have a chance to cover it beyond maybe a short form review at the end of the year, even if that. Which is kind of a shame because she does have a few decent songs to her name. If she managed to fix how damn plastic and stiff so much of her production felt in pop country, she could have something pretty decent here. And honestly, she gets a fair way with this song. Yeah, I'll always wish her material was more organic and grounded in guitar and country instrumentation like fiddle and pedal steel instead of the blur of liquid tones behind the heavier drum line, but for this sort of pop country, it is certainly an improvement over her earlier album, and that feels a fair bit looser and smoother, even though I have the suspicion if she released this song a decade ago, it would fit very snugly along a lot of mid-2000s teen pop. Now that being said, there's a surprising amount of gravitas that she's trying to bring to the table here, with a sort of reasoned yet wistful reflection on a long-gone relationship that does carry more maturity than you would otherwise expect. Again, I wish this was a lot more country overall, but there's a part of me that's got a soft spot for this sort of song, so yeah, it gets a pass. Number 86, Krippy Kush by Farruko, Nicki Minaj, Bad Bunny, 21 Savage, and Rvssian. Okay, time for some context on what the hell this is. The first credited artist on the song is Farruko, and he's a Puerto Rican singer-songwriter slash rapper who's already released a fair number of albums in the 2010s, and has had some success through collaborating with acts like J Balvin and Daddy Yankee. Now for this particular song, he got Bad Bunny for the hook, and it blew up on YouTube. You might remember Bad Bunny for being that utterly forgettable guy on that Becky G song a few weeks ago, and along with his producer Rvssian, they teamed up with Nicki Minaj and 21 Savage to give this track a little bit more longevity and crossover appeal. And Look, it's hard for me not to see this as just another desaturated and hollow trap banger focused on weed, with Bad Bunny playing a delivery that's not that far removed from a more energetic Travis Scott, and Farruko's hopping on the triplet flows, but I honestly don't think this is all that bad. As much as the lynching line from Nicki Minaj really makes me shudder, she's still by far the most interesting part of this song. It even gets a little bit closer to her more manic, high-pitched delivery that I'm surprised how much I missed. And as much as Farruko is hopping on a very conventional and very popular style, if he can certainly rap fast enough to keep it up, he's pretty impressive here. If anything, I think the real drain on the song is Surprise, 21 Savage. Mostly because he sounds incredibly lazy in his generic hedonism, and his verse being the last one does not help the song's overall faltering momentum. But you know what? It's not really good, but it could be a lot worse, like number 52, Codeine Dreaming by Kodak Black featuring Lil Wayne.
So I put a new charm on my pinky. I'm moonwalking, but my Christian Louboutin bleeding. I'm smoking moon rock, shawty, and I feel it ceiling. I might take off on you peons and go away to Venus. I'm a star, so I put a new charm on my pinky. I'm moonwalking, but my Christian Louboutin bleeding. I'm smoking moon rock, shawty, and I feel it ceiling.
I can't tell you how exasperating it is to see Lil Wayne trying to gain traction in the mainstream with Kodak Black. But you might as well tack up to a rapper who's always managed to find new and impressive ways to disappoint us. And with this, it's a really bad sign. The best thing I can say about it is that Lil Wayne sounds more sober even as he raps about his new. That I take Lil Wayne over Kodak Black flubbing a rhyme right on the damn hook, or his nasal flow that always seems like it's gonna slip off the beat, or how he disses somebody from doing morphine despite it and codeine having the same root chemical, or how he actively brags about dumping his black girl for a white girl, and that's just sleazy in the least attractive way possible. And then you're throwing jabs at Future for being too geeked and being in the past and claim that you've distinguished yourself against that ugly ass, badly tuned synthesizer that somehow doesn't manage to be drowned out by the bass, but does manage to drown out the majority of your god-awful singing. No, let's not get around this. This is terrible. It sucks. And let's leave Kodak Black in irrelevance in 2017 where he belongs. Next. And finally, number 28, Mic Drop by BTS featuring Desiigner.
Somebody stop me, I'm not a pop-up. Two beans and you know my body ain't done.
Okay, the reason why this song did as well as it did is frankly huge sales from a diehard fanbase, because it's not like the radio or streaming is going to pick up on the same degree to a song from a Korean boy band and a Future ripoff that hasn't been relevant in over a year. That said, this sort of sales boost typically implies at least some crossover potential, so is the song any good? Well, honestly, it's the sort of trap and K-pop fusion that really does not click for me whatsoever, and a lot of that I have to put down in the production, dishing both the moody atmosphere or intensity that makes the best trap connect as well as the sugary hook that I can like in K-pop, instead plugging in shrill, squonking synths that sound good 2 years out of date against an overextended snare drum, Desiigner's ubiquitous ad-libs, and pitch-shifted vocal samples that got annoying and chipmunk-like in record time. And that's before you get auto-tune tacked onto BTS's vocals, which really clashes awkwardly with how rough and hard they're trying and mostly failing to be, which is kind of undercut by them trying to plug a smoother section in Korean at the end of the song. Even beyond all that, it's not like BTS is bringing authoritative or interesting bars to go back to their haters, or even a witty punchline here or there. The most interesting lyric here is when Desiigner says his girl likes Applejack and yet he likes applesauce, which in any other rap song I'd say was a joke, but it seems like he's playing it straight here. Now, I'm sorry folks, this is just a train wreck that highlights some of the most sloppy elements in both genres, and a pairing that really does either act any sort of long-term favors. I don't see this sticking around. And yeah, it's not the worst here. That's going to Codeine Dreaming by Kodak Black featuring Lil Wayne, easily. Now, the best of the week, you know what, I would give this a total eclipse of the heart, but the new arrangement and delivery doesn't really flatter it on it. I just wasn't that much of a fan, so I guess Legends by Kelsea Ballerini, which yeah, it's more of a pop song overall, but seems like the most likable track here. Again, there doesn't seem to be much in terms of quality coming down the pipes unless Miguel blows all of our expectations and projects out of the water, but we'll see. Till then, I'm Mark, you're watching Billboard Breakdown on Spectrum Pulse, and I'll see you